Soundscan, the show where we introduce you to the hottest musicians right here in your region. On tonight's show, two bands from the St. Louis area, one bluegrass and punk, the other reggae, rock, and hip-hop, and from Cape Girardeau, Fists of Phoenix. That's coming up right now on Soundscan.
Soundscan.
Soundscan rocks. We love you, Soundscan.
Welcome to Soundscan, the show where we introduce you to the hottest musicians right here in your region. I'm Candace and I'm your host. We're going to open tonight's show with the St. Louis band that describes their music as rockabilly, punk, and bluegrass mixed all up into one. They're called the Monads. We caught up with them at Rude Dog Pub, and here's what they had to say. Meet the Monads.
We're the Monads. We're from St. Louis, Missouri. Jenna is on upright bass. Jason is on the banjo and the fiddle, and I'm Pat, and I'm on guitar.
Black and bluegrass.
Black and bluegrass.
Black and bluegrass.
Black and bluegrass.
What do you think?
I like pancakes a lot.
Pancakes. Musical pancakes. The three of us have been playing together for 8 months, 9 months or so. Keep watching, and don't change until we're done. You can go to, we're on MySpace at myspace.com/themonads. MONADS.
Especially buttermilk pancakes.
All right, thank you. We're the Monads from St. Louis, Missouri. Well, it's been 14 years and a bottle or two, and I still hang my head when the train rolls through. It reminds me of jail, where I was bound for the woman that arrived and the man I dropped. But I'm all the south when you tear me down. It's not the change of the waters when the train comes down. Cause the last thing I said before I sent you away was that I'll see you again when you come back on the train. Then one day I got your letter, you said that you weren't coming back. You couldn't wait for me while I run away, yeah, yeah. And you said that a murderer was no one to love or marry, and that your one-way ticket was going to take that away. 14 years and a bottle or two, and I still hang my head when the train rolls through. It reminds me of jail, where I was bound for the woman that arrived and a man I drowned. But of all the sounds that can tear me down, it's not the change of the water when the train comes down. Cause the last thing I said before I sent you away was that I'll see you again when you come back on the train. Then one day I got your letter, you said that you weren't coming back. You couldn't wait for me while I run away, yeah, yeah. And you said that a murderer was no one to love or marry, and that your one-way ticket was going to stay that way. Then one day I got your letter, you said that you weren't coming back. You couldn't wait for me while I ran away, yeah, yeah. And you said that a murderer was going to love or marry, and that you always
Elvira here, back with a helping hand for Halloween. Coors Light, it's the official beer of Halloween. And just what an adult party needs to be a howling success. What? You don't believe me? What do you need, like a sign from above?
Be sure to visit this display wherever you buy Coors Light.
And it's just perfect for when friends drop in. See what I mean?
Soundscan rocks. We love Soundscan.
Thank you, Candace.
Welcome back to Soundscan, the show where we introduce you to the hottest musicians right here in your region. Right now we're going to hear from a band of guys. They mix some reggae, some rock, and some hip-hop together to make for some awesome music to dance to. They've released one album. It's entitled What's the Story, and they've been featured on a number of compilations. This is Jeff on vocals, Dave on guitar, Brian on the drums, Drew on the bass, and DJ Moth on the ones and twos. It's time for Essence of Logic.
This weekend, Columbia Pictures takes you beyond the stratosphere with special midnight showings of heavy metal. Heavy metal. Rated R. This weekend, check newspapers for a midnight metal theater near you.
Wow, it looks like it's really coming towards me. Get out of here. This is mine. Go. Hi. Zombie Cheerleader here, asking you to watch Sally's Poetry Corner. It's the first 3D horror poetry corner on YouTube. And I do it, and it has great poems about me and horror and other horror hosts, and it's really, really cool. So go watch Sally's Poetry Corner. You can find it on my YouTube page, and it's like right there. You can see it. Anyway, watch out. Sally's Poetry Corner in 3D. It's coming for you. It looks like it's coming for you. It's really, get out of here. Go away.
Welcome back to Soundscan, the show where we introduce you to the hottest musicians right here in your region. It's time for our Live Wire segment. This week we spoke with Quitman McBride II, owner of QWorks Recording Studios in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. He spoke to us a little bit about why it's so important to make sure you work with professionals when you're putting a demo together.
Basically, QWorks Recording Studio, we offer just about everything that an artist needs. You can come into QWorks with an idea in your mind. We can take that idea, put it down on paper, turn it into lyrics, take those lyrics, run tracks. We can lay down the vocal tracks. We can also write the music for it, or you can bring your music in and we can take your music and your lyrics and we can run the tracks for them. Once we get the tracks down, we can mix it down. We can also do some mastering for it. And you can get a complete package through QWorks Studio. Well, my advice would be to anyone that wants to get a quality recording done would be to rehearse, practice, and get your lyrics and your music down as tight as possible before you come into a studio. And when you come into the studio, one of the things that is really good for the person is that you get your sounds on individual tracks. Where your sound will go through an analog board like this board here. This board will take your sound and clean it up. It'll be EQ'd down and different frequencies will be set according to your voice or your music. Then it'll go from an analog to a digital process. When it goes to the digital process, then there are some other things that turn it into the digital files that you need in order to manipulate the sound waves. And it goes from digital to a sound wave. Once it goes to sound wave, then you turn it into a format which you can put onto a CD. Now, a lot of times people record at home and record directly to the CD, but you get interference, you get outside noises, you have non-EQing properly, because when you're going into the industry, you want your music to be set at industry level. And if it's not set at industry level, when you play it on the radio or in your car, the sound levels is going to be distorted. I have individuals came in that just started out doing some music, and I designed album covers for them ahead of time because that's what they want. They will, let's do an album cover. And so we get the album cover designed and laid out, and they go and meet with people, and they, by looking at the album cover, they want to hear what the music is all about. So I said, if you got a real nice presentation to present to someone, then the contents that's inside is good also. You got a better chance than going to someone with a cassette that you got marked all up with a pen and handed it to a person. More likely it's going to go into the circle trash.
Now it's time to meet a Cape Girardeau band who's just recently released their CD in the Soundscan studios. It's Fists of Phoenix.
Serving the channels one night, just one thing to select. A horror host movie show, a dungeon of Dr. Drek. His co-host is a zombie, Mona is her name. There's a dead cheerleader, Kroner, what a pain! Dr. Drek! Dr. Drek! Mr. Maniac and many more. There's even a big hairy Bigfoot just outside the door. If you ever wonder, will you meet them someday? Ask Madam Nicotina, she'll consult her ashtray. Dr. Drek! Dr. Drek! Human flesh. No one wants Harry Houdini. His ghost is such a pest. No matter how many channels, no problem what to select. For movies and a laugh or two, the Dungeon of Dr. Drek. Dr. Drek. Dr. Drek.
We had a brainstorming session one day. It was actually three of us, and I think the day after we got done with that, me and Candace sat down and we came up with the show.
Myself and my executive producer James, we always decide to sit down and have brainstorming sessions. And during one of these, we thought, what's that one thing that maybe that's needed maybe in TV locally, and came up with this idea because with being in radio and things like that, I know that there's a culture that exists sort of underground that's involved with all these bands and their fans. And we said, hey, why not document that and put it on TV? And I mean, it's a good idea, of course. The bands, who's going to say no to being on television? And, something for us to do that we could call our own, make it look how we wanted it to look, and the network accepted it.
We just thought we wanted to do something where we can involve bands, the community, ourselves, and do something like a hobby. And we came up with Soundscan. And there's bands downtown that we knew we could get at, for one. We had equipment we knew we could get. And we had all the talent and all the editing stuff here in our studio at home. So we just knew we could put it together, and it came together, and here we are.
Originally, we had planned on, maybe just putting the show on public access.
They showed a little interest, but we also sent the same pilot off to UPN.
No, we never submitted anything to Television Network before, so we gave it to the higher-ups at UPN. They showed it in the board meeting, called us back, and let us know that they wanted it on the air.
We sent the pilot off to UPN and some local businesses here in town and some sponsors, and they all seemed impressed. It was a couple of days turnaround where it went from them seeing it to them agreeing to pay or them agreeing to sign up for sponsorship. And I think they seen it and felt that it was more than just a public access type show. They felt it had potential. And that's the same way me and Candace felt when we first created the show itself. So I think just the show itself, Candace, the graphics, and the community as a whole came together. And I think that's one main reason why I picked up.
Originally, we ran into a lot of difficulty, you know, sometimes, no matter if it's, you know, sound equipment in one place sounding bad or the way stuff looked, lights, you know, we're in dark bars. We had to come up with a lot of stuff, you know, whether it was bringing our homemade lamp into the venue and, you know, making it look a little better. We also, for our in-studio shoots, built a set. We actually built this set from the ground up with some wood, some curtains. We put it all together and it came out looking pretty good, but it was a real basic setup, and I mean, I'm actually pretty proud of the way it came out, and I think people were surprised when they did see it after seeing us being such a small setup, and then seeing what came out of it. I think it was pretty good.
We got it on UPN. We started making flyers. We got bands signed up. We just went out every weekend and shot bands. We got all that footage together. Once we got that, we sat down, we edited, we got our sponsors together. We built the stage one Saturday and shot all 6 bands on that weekend. And then we just put it together. I mean, it was just that simple. It took a month, maybe a month and a half to get everything together. And now we got a full-length DVD ready to sell about 2 months later. So.
Working with all the bands was a really good experience. They were all some of the nicest people. I mean, they all had talent. And it was just a wonderful time going to these bars, hanging out. I mean, it was fun. We were in clubs, we were hanging out, having a good time, listening to some music, and meanwhile, taping.
Working with the bands, we experienced a lot of different types of, you know, genres and cultures, and it was a fun experience. It was a lot of bands that seemed really interested, so they put on a good show for us. Some of my personal favorites were the Monads, Catatonic, Essence of Logic. Those were good bands because to me they felt like I was at a real show. You know, I usually don't go out to the shows to see bands like that, and when I was there, I felt comfortable and it was entertaining, and I enjoyed the music. So I mean, the bands were real nice to work with.
I hope that the bands get a lot from it. I hope, you know, maybe they get booked at a venue they would have never got booked at, or just get up some momentum for whatever they plan on doing next. I wish them all the best of luck.
We're showcasing them, but they're also showcasing us because we get to work hand in hand and producing this TV show where we're both featured. So it was fun working with the bands.
James and I, we talk about this all the time when the idea came up. We hate to see talent, you know, whether it be a group or a singer or anything, and they just have no way to get out there. So, you know, I think it was a great idea overall. We were able to, you know, get some exposure for these people and have a good time while we did it. And we hope that we continue doing it, and we hope that it grows, and we hope that everybody enjoyed it more than anything. And we definitely enjoyed doing it.
It was a great experience overall. We got to get into a lot of things that was unknown to us at first. We didn't know what we were getting into, but like I said, in 2 months, we went through the whole process from start to finish. Now we're in talks for season 2, and we got big plans for that. We want to thank all the bands, our sponsors, our advertisers, everybody who believed in us, everybody who didn't believe in us. That was motivation. Cape Scene, you know, UPN, KFDS, everybody. I think we had a great experience, and we'd love to do it again.
We're incognito, and you're watching Soundscan.
You have been watching Soundscan, the show where we introduce you to the hottest musicians right here in your region. I'm Candace, and I'm your host, and this is our mascot kitty, Mr. Charlie. I want to thank all the bands that were on the show this week, the Monads, Essence of Logic, and Fists of Phoenix. I also want to thank our sponsors, Buckner's Brewing Company and CP McGinty Jewelers. If you want to find out more about Soundscan, log on to our website, soundscan.50webs.com. And if you want to let me know what you think of the show, email us at soundscan@hotmail.com. Look out for next week's show. We'll be having the Fawcett Fair from Clarkton, Missouri, also the Dirty 30s from Cape Girardeau, and Hip Hopper Potency. That's next week right here on Soundscan. Say bye, Charlie.